I didn't actually go to meet him because I wanted to just observe, and I was just in awe of observing. And I see where all the suits are, so like, let's go. So we walk up to whatever the adjacent hotel is, down the block, whatever. They let us right in, and we go, and I observe it again for another 3 hours. He's just on, shaking everyone's hand, talking to everyone. He does clock me a few times, which probably means I know everyone here. Why are you here? Or, I don't know. But we looked quick nod, and I, had a cigar, and I went off. But that inspired me. So I was like, yes, what has he done and how is he doing it? And that's incredible. And I'm like, okay, team, what do we do? Is there anything we can do? And he said, okay, what do you have in mind, Chance? And I said, this video, Tom Cruise, right? And at the time he had released this YouTube video of him from Mission Impossible 8, standing on top of a plane.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, everyone, thank you for making Top Gun, blah, blah, blah. We'll see you at the movies. And the plane veers off. I said, let's do that. Let's do that. And so I called around. We got the backing of this company to help out with the logistics and the filming of it all. And so I call up the one place in the United States where you can do this thing called wing walking. And I said, hey, here's the concept. And here, I'm sending over the email. Are you guys down? They're like, yeah. And I'm pretty sure they couldn't say anything, but if Tom Cruise was going to learn how to do it, he would have gone there. So I was like, that's the perfect place.
Wow.
So we take off. I go to just outside of Seattle, Washington.
Jeez.
And I get a call as we're landing on my connecting flight. And it's like, hey, so our secondary pilot dropped out. I just wanted to let you guys know so that, you don't get on the plane. No, we're on the plane. So let's figure it out. Okay. So we land, me and Benji, the videographer, and Benji's awesome. Benji, he has some stories. He's a cool and rugged.
And he was shooting
guy.
this.
Yeah. So he's no stranger to danger. He's like, nah, this ain't nothing. So we get there. There's a secondary pilot on this private airfield. We shake his hand, great. We start training. And then the secondary pilot takes off again. So your replacement of the secondary pilot took off. Is he coming back? Nah, he's not doing it. I'm like, okay. Let's hop on your Rolodex. Should we figure it out? Yeah, okay, cool. So we start training how to strap in and do all that stuff. But we only have, yeah. And so you need two pilots. So we needed two pilots because we had GoPros on the first plane, but the second one we need to get the behind angle like the Tom Cruise shot.
And this isn't cheap.
It was cheaper than I thought it would be.
$10,000.
Less. We did it janky.
All right.
Janky. And
so you set all these cameras up.
Yeah, and then Benji's like, hey, we need to remove the door on the secondary plane so I can get a good angle. I was like, is that possible? He's like, sure. So he's removing the door to the secondary plane. He's calling up his Rolodex. No one wants to do it. And so we do end up finding the secondary pilot. And he says, the first pilot says, I have some safety concerns, so I can't really give you the full Tom Cruise. I can't give you that. I'm like, okay, just give me what you can. We'll make it work. And we're training, and there's the harnesses on top of the plane. You're supposed to climb up and harness yourself in. And I said, well, that wasn't what the pitch was. The pitch was I stand on the cockpit like Tom Cruise did. Okay, we're figuring that out. So we figure it out, and I end up having the reserve harness on me. And the reserve harness has to be long enough for you to be able to climb up to the top. They couldn't, tighten it more. So if I fall down, it's great. I'm not falling off the plane, but I might fall on the pilot. And then we do go down. So we need a second reserve harness. What do we use? A ratchet clamp, kind of like the same ones you use in IKEA to kind of like put a mattress on top of your car. So I had the ratchet clamp, one of those, and the cockpit is like, because it's like a crop duster, the cockpit is like the edges of it are like this. And I have my feet on either side, like teetering. And then we're training, we're doing it hours and hours and hours. And they say, okay, the wind's going to hit you at 160 miles an hour is what it is. And we're going to be between 2,000 and 5,000 feet in the air. And I was like, you want to keep your leather jacket on? I was like, yeah, because it's like the video that Tom did. Sweet. So we get in. The training's all good. We're about to hit it. We take off. And I'm like, great, here it is. Right? We wait for the planes to get into position. And I stand up. And as I stand up out of the cockpit, I go, oh, shit. Okay, it's 160 miles an hour wind. I hold on, I pull myself up, my feet are on the edge, teetering like this, and then my jacket goes over my head, my leather jacket, and my leather jacket's hitting me at 160 miles, right, over and over again.
But it's funny.
It was funny, and there was no time to be scared. I was like, fuck. And so we had to get into position to do the video, I have to turn around. But to turn around, I have to let go of one of the 3 points of contact that you have to have at all times on the plane. That's my arm holding on. So I have to 3, 2, 1, and grab anything I fucking can as I turn around.
Right.
The jacket's still over my face. To make matters worse, I kicked, I think, one of like the controls of the plane, like the master controls, as I got up. So he couldn't communicate with the other pilot. No, he was good. He was a great pilot. He figured it out, but it means he couldn't communicate with the other plane. So whilst he was trying to figure that out and get into position, I'm waving around, and he thinks that's the signal to do the maneuver. It wasn't. My shit was over my head. And he does the maneuver, and did he teeter it? Or did he give me the full Tom Cruise? He damn near went, if it wasn't upside down, it was 3/4 of the way there. My feet came off the cockpit, just enough like 0 Gs, hit it again, rectified. I sit my ass down in that cockpit, snug as a rug, and I go, holy fuck. And so then I do up my jacket, and we have 2 more passes, right? Now he's figured out the cockpit situation. He's got the controls down. Okay, great. We go up, we do it 2 more times. We get the pass.
Great.
And then we land. We check the audio, and obviously the audio of whatever we were going to say is
Right.
So ADR. And Benji says, hey, that was crazy, dude. How do you feel? I said, I feel all right. I feel right. And then he says, that was crazy. I said, thank you, Benji. No, dude, that was fucking crazy.
Post it.
So we're gonna use it at some point for something, right? We just need to jerry rig it and figure out what we need to use it for. And so maybe like I don't know. We'll see. But then
Wow.